I never thought my past as a Navy SEAL would come crashing back in a quiet suburban neighborhood. But one afternoon, it did, in the most brutal way. Three men dressed as police stormed onto my property, pretending to enforce HOA rules. They weren't real cops. They were hired muscle. And when one of them slapped my wife across the face, that was the last mistake he ever made. By the end of that day, two of them were on the ground. One was pinned under my knee, and the HOA president who sent them was exposed in front of the whole neighborhood. Before we dive in, comment where you're watching from. I want to see how far this story travels. The morning started normal. Sarah, my wife, was outside watering the garden. Birds chirping, sun warm, neighbors walking dogs, peaceful. Then she noticed it. A black SUV circling our block. Once, twice, 3 times. Finally, it stopped across the street. 3 men stepped out, tactical vests, dark sunglasses, shiny patches stitched to their chests. At a glance, they looked official. But Sarah, she's observant. She noticed the flaws. Cheap nylon belts, plastic holsters, no radios. Real police never show up without communication gear. The tallest one barked, "Ma'am, HOA compliance inspection," flashing a badge that looked like it came from a toy store. Sarah asked, calm but sharp, "Since when does the HOA hire police?" The second guy smirked. "We're not hired, lady. We are the law here." That's when Sarah's gut told her something was very, very wrong. She told them to leave, firm, confident. She reminded them trespassing without cause is a crime. But instead of backing down, the third guy stepped closer, rested his hand on his fake baton. When Sarah pulled out her phone to record, he slapped it from her hand. The phone clattered on the driveway. And then he slapped her. That sound echoed across the block. The neighbors froze. Sarah's hand went to her cheek, stunned. And me? I heard her yell from inside the garage, where I'd been sorting through my old gear. The instant I saw her holding her face, every part of me switched. From husband to protector to soldier. I walked straight toward them, controlled steps, calm voice, but my eyes locked on theirs. I said, "You boys picked the wrong house. You've got 5 seconds to explain who sent you." The leader sneered. "The HOA president told you've been ignoring notices. We're here to make sure you comply." He tried to stare me down. I've stared down men who ordered mass killings. A suburban bully in a knockoff vest? He didn't even register. I turned to Sarah. "Go inside, lock the door." She obeyed instantly. She knew what was coming. Then I leaned in, voice low. "Touch my wife again and you won't be walking out of here." They laughed, but I saw it in their eyes, cracks in their confidence. The short one tried to puff up. "We'll cuff you right now." He yanked out a pair of toy-grade cuffs, plastic, flimsy. That was it. I grabbed his wrist, twisted until the cuffs fell, then dropped him with a clean elbow strike. His body hit the lawn hard. The second man lunged with his baton. I sidestepped, caught his arm mid-swing, flipped him clean over my shoulder. He slammed into the concrete. The sound made every neighbor gasp. Now only one man stood. He tried to keep the act alive. "You're assaulting officers." I stepped into his face, so close he could feel my breath. "No, I'm stopping 3 criminals from assaulting my wife. Big difference." The door creaked open again. Sarah, her cheek red, but her hand steady as she held her phone high, recording. "I already called the sheriff. They're on the way." The leader panicked, tried to bolt for the SUV. I grabbed his vest, yanked him backward, and pinned him against the hood, my knee in his back. He squirmed, but he had no training, just bravado. When the deputies pulled up minutes later, the scene was clear. 2 men groaning on the ground, one pinned under me, Sarah with the video. The deputies aimed their weapons. "Hands where we can see them." I raised mine immediately, stepping back. Sarah pointed at the fakes. "Those are the guys. They hit me. They pretended to be cops." Within minutes, the deputies ripped off their fake gear, cuffed them for real, and the truth spilled out. The leader broke first. Under interrogation, he confessed the HOA president herself, Karen Ellis, had paid them to teach us a lesson. This wasn't random. This was a conspiracy. And suddenly, my quiet neighborhood turned into a battlefield. If you're still watching, hit that like button because what happens next makes this look like the warm-up. At the sheriff's station, the 3 looked pathetic. Their fake uniforms bagged as evidence, their wrists bound for real. Under questioning, they admitted Karen told them to scare us, to rough me up, to intimidate Sarah. When the deputies asked if I wanted to press charges, I didn't hesitate. Absolutely. But Karen wasn't done, not even close. That evening, she filed a lawsuit against me, claiming her contractors were legitimate, claiming I used excessive force, claiming I damaged the reputation of the HOA. My attorney nearly laughed reading it. "This is a gift. We'll countersue for harassment, assault, and conspiracy. And you've got video evidence. This isn't going to end the way she thinks." The courtroom was packed. Karen sat smug, blazer pressed, whispering to her lawyer. On my side, Sarah, calm, resolute, our attorney ready for war. The HOA's lawyer started first. His argument was weak, full of lies. Then came Sarah's video, played on the big screen for everyone to see. The slap, the fake cuffs, the fake badges, the assaults in broad daylight. The judge leaned back, unimpressed. "These men are criminals, and you, Mrs. Ellis, hired them. Not only is your lawsuit dismissed, but you are sanctioned for abusing the legal system." My attorney rose, voice sharp. "Your Honor, we're filing a counterclaim today. Conspiracy to commit assault, intentional infliction of emotional distress, HOA harassment. My clients deserve restitution." Karen's face went pale. The board members behind her avoided her gaze as they left the courtroom. Her empire collapsing. The 3 impostors held without bail, facing multiple felony charges. Karen personally liable for damages, her reputation destroyed. The sheriff shook my hand afterwards. "Good thing you kept your cool. Most people would have frozen. You saved your wife from something much worse." I nodded, held Sarah close. Karen thought fear could control us. Instead, her empire of intimidation collapsed. And as for me, I walked out not just as a husband, but as a soldier who refused to bow to corruption. And that was only the beginning. Because the fallout didn't stop with Karen. It spread deeper than anyone expected. If you want to hear how this battle with the HOA escalated even further, make sure you're subscribed, because the next chapter is bigger than you think.